Myths, Mysteries, and Miracles. Looks at missing people. The Federal Bureau of Investigation is committed to addressing missing persons cases in the United States. The Bureau has observed that hundreds of people go missing across the country each year. While many of these cases are resolved successfully, there remain unsolved cases that still have ongoing challenges. In 2020, for instance, there were over 540,000 reported missing persons in the United States. It is important to note that a significant portion of these cases involves juveniles, with over 340,000 reported as such. The FBI continues to work diligently with local law enforcement agencies, the National Missing and Unidentified Persons System, and other partners to investigate and resolve these cases. We strive to bring answers to families and closure to communities affected by these disappearances. A lot of times, missing people are found pretty soon after they go missing. But there are still many cases where people disappear and nobody knows what happened to them for a long time, sometimes even for many years. Some TV shows, podcasts, and news reports, like Unsolved Mysteries on Netflix, talk about these unsolved cases. These shows and reports help bring attention to these cases and make more people aware of them. This can lead to more people trying to find the missing person. The case we are showing today is about a 52-year-old woman who disappeared under unusual circumstances. On January 16, 1996, Kathy Silveri was reported missing by her ex-husband. Kathy was last seen on January 12, 1996, at the end of her workday by coworkers at Los Islas Medical Center in Oxnard. Kathy was also seen that same day by a neighbor, who Kathy told she had rekindled an old relationship and had a date that evening to go sailing. Kathy has not been seen or heard from since. There is no public information on the last person to see her alive. Although we must assume that investigators do know and have cleared him. In the end, no one knows where she went and where she may be. After 27 years, it is assumed she may be dead. Kathy lived about 60 miles north of Los Angeles at the Channel Islands harbor. Lauren Spearer. Spearer was a 20-year-old student at Indiana University. She was born January 17, 1991, to Charlene and Robert Spearer. She grew up in Scarsdale, New York, an affluent town in lower Westchester County. Spearer graduated from Edgemont High School in 2009 and enrolled at Indiana University, where she was studying textiles merchandising. Spearer met her boyfriend, Jesse Wolfe, and her friend, Jay Rosenbaum, years earlier at Camp Towanda, a summer camp in the mountain town of Honesdale, Pennsylvania. It was there she also met various other future IU students who later became Spearer's circle of friends when she enrolled at IU in 2009. On the night she disappeared, Spearer was drinking with several friends. Wolfe stated that he did not go out with Spearer or her friends that evening, texting back and forth with Spearer before he went to bed. According to witnesses, Spearer was very intoxicated. Bloomington police used video surveillance footage and witness statements to create a timeline of Spearer's whereabouts before her disappearance. Late in the evening of June 2, 2011, Lauren was seen leaving her apartment with a friend, David Rohn. The two went to another mutual friend's apartment, Jay Rosenbaum. Lauren, David, and Jay had plans to meet up with Jay's neighbor, Corey Rossman. There were approximately 10 people at Corey's apartment with reports of heavy drinking and drug use. By midnight, David heads back to his apartment at Smallwoods Plaza, and per surveillance footage, he isn't seen leaving the apartment again around 11 a.m. the next morning. The timeline: Friday, June 3, 2011, 12:30 a.m. Witnesses report that Spearer left her apartment with a friend named David Rohn. The pair went to Jay Rosenbaum's apartment, and she met up with Corey Rossman, Rosenbaum's neighbor. 1:46 a.m. Spearer is seen entering Kilroy's Sports Bar. 2:27 a.m. Spearer is seen exiting the bar with Rossman. Spearer left her cell phone and shoes at the bar. She had taken off her shoes when she walked out onto the sand-covered patio. Rossman walked with Spearer to her apartment complex. 2:30 a.m. Spearer is seen entering Smallwood Plaza Apartments, where her residence is located. A passerby named Zach Oakes noticed her level of inebriation and asked if she was okay. 2:48 a.m. After she left the apartments, Spira entered an alley that runs between College Avenue and Morton Street. Security cameras mounted on nearby apartments show her exit the alley at 2:51 a.m. and walk toward an empty lot. Spira's keys and purse were found along this route through the alley. Spira and Rossman arrived at Rossman's apartment shortly afterward. Michael Beth, Rossman's roommate, was at the apartment. Rossman himself was very intoxicated and stumbling. He vomited on the carpet on the way upstairs. Beth stated that he escorted Rossman to bed. He then tried to persuade Spira to sleep over for her own safety. He claims Spira said she wanted to return to her own apartment. 3:30 a.m. Beth said he then phoned his neighbor, Rosenbaum, wanting him to take care of Spira. Beth said that Spira was attempting to get Beth to drink with her at her own apartment. She eventually went to Rosenbaum's apartment, where he observed a bruise under her eye, presumably sustained in a fall earlier that evening. She told him she didn't know how she got the bruise. 2 calls were placed from Rosenbaum's phone shortly before she is reported to have left. Rosenbaum said Spira placed both calls, one to Roan and one to another friend. Neither picked up, and no messages were left. 4:30 a.m. Rosenbaum reports that Spira left the apartment. This is the last reported sighting of her. He reported last seeing Spira at the intersection of 11th Street and College Avenue, headed south on College. She was last seen barefoot, wearing black leggings and a white shirt. Several hours later that morning, Wolf sent Spira a text. He received a reply from an employee at the bar. Wolf reported Spira missing.
She was last seen at 4:30 a.m. at 11th and College Avenue.
Myths, mysteries, and miracles. Thanks for watching and please subscribe.